It's pretty stunning stuff. So anyway, I see we have Molly here from Eugene, Oregon. I've seen you log in. I'm so grateful you're here with us. And Karen, there's my girl. And
Mhm.
it's pretty pretty stunning stuff. So anyway, there I am. I see we have Molly here. There we go. I wish my husband said there's always just one person watching on that Zoom, and it's you. I know on the YouTube. I'm like, yeah, because YouTube puts me on. I don't control that. It just happens that way. But he's he's anyway. Zum, I'm going to stop jabber and turn the mic over to you. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'm so grateful for um, Marvelous Monday. Zulma Gonzalez, this mic is all yours.
Yes, marvelous, magnificent, majestic Monday to each and every only one of us. It has been a calm weekend. I actually pretty much hung around the house and just relaxed some. I'm driving out to New York tomorrow, just telling my business. I'm driving out to New York tomorrow to go visit with my sister. Looking forward to that. I'm taking Lovable with me. I'm looking forward to that. And for those of you who don't know, well, you know, everybody here except Molly knows, and I'm not going to change my screen now because she's not here. Anyway, um, Lovable is my as Karen called him, my sidekick. He's a beautiful dog that found me on June 13th, and it's been a love affair ever since. So, okay, we're here to talk about A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and Other Mental Sciences. I am going to share my screen. Let me do that. Um, let's try it again. There we go. All right. So I'm practicing. I am practicing new things that I have learned, and as far as putting slideshows to get slide presentations together, and so I'm prettying things up a little bit. We are looking at. Oh, that's me. I was supposed to put this in slideshow mode. Let's see if I know what I'm doing. Let's see if I know what I'm doing. You all are going to have to help me and let me know if you're seeing. Do you see a bigger screen than before?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we're talking about A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind, and as I said, other mental sciences. As Lynn mentioned, other metaphysicians are brought in, be it Joe Goldsmith or Emma Curtis Hopkins or uh, it could be Michael Beckwith. It could be it. There's a host of them. Christian D. Larson, um, a host of them, and as we go along, not today so many, but we will get to meet or re be reintroduced to some of these people. As every week, we are reminded to mind your mind because Dr. Ernest Holmes writes that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And A Course in Miracles teaches us that this is a course in mind training and that all learning involves attention and study at some level. And we're reminded too that an untrained mind can accomplish absolutely nothing. And Dr. Holmes concludes this slide with thoughts and things are but two ends of the same proposition. And as we know, cause and effect are one. Since it is impossible to stop thinking, we can't stop creating. Our choice is whether we shall create constructively or destructively. Miracle principle number 12 reminds us that miracles are thoughts and they can be higher level or spiritual, they can be lower level or physical. Um, and that's always a choice that we have. We are continuing today with our talk on oneness. And from the Declaration of Beliefs by Dr. Ernest Holmes, I cited two of them. He said, I believe in the incarnation of the spirit in all beings, and that every person is an incarnation of the one spirit. And he says, I believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. Now we are going to look at some quotes from the course. I'm not going back to the ones we did last week. Let's stop my share for a moment here so I can go into Word and bring up the list of passages that contain the word oneness in it in the course. We're not looking at all of them. It's not that we don't have to, but today we are looking at from chapter 11. All of God's sons are of equal value, and their equality is their oneness. And of course, if anywhere along the way anyone has any comment, has any thought, please raise your hand, either virtually or actually. I think I can see the virtual hand today. All of God's sons are of equal value, and their equality is their oneness. Your peace lies in God's oneness. This is over and over and over again that the Course tells us this. You will learn communication with this oneness only when you learn to deny the causeless. That is, things that aren't real, things that are temporary, things that have no, they only mean something in the moment that they mean something, and based on the meaning that we give it, but they are temporary things. You will learn communication with this oneness only when you learn to deny the causeless and accept the cause of God as yours. And we're reminded in the oneness that we are what God is. We are what God is, and that's unchanging. We are what God is. We are one with God. That oneness that we think about sometimes and don't think about others. When things are going on in front of us, we tend to forget. We tend to focus on what's in front of us, the tangibles, the causeless. We tend to focus on the causeless rather than on what has meaning, and that is the cause of God. The single vision of the single vision which the Holy Spirit offers you will bring oneness to your mind with clarity and brightness. There's no doubt. There's no doubt when it's the voice of Spirit talking. You hear it. You know it. You just know it. I do. I just know it. There's no mistaking it. It feels like it's coming from way down deep, and it's a fantastic feeling because the answers are always given. I don't have to. On page 28 of the course, it says that I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do because he who sent me will direct me. He who sent me will direct me. I'm always being guided. I'm being directed as to which way to go. And even what we call mistakes are part of the process. They're part of our learning and is necessary. The gift of oneness comes before which all separation vanishes. The gift of oneness, with the gift of oneness, all separation vanishes. And lastly, for today, God's teacher, from this section anyway, God's teacher is as like to his creator. That's you and me as teachers. God's teacher, or is that the Holy Spirit? is as like to his creator as is his son. That's the Holy Spirit. God's teacher is as like to his creator as is his son. And through his teacher does God proclaim his oneness and his son's oneness, oneness, oneness. That sounds like a bunch of words. And what it's saying is that which we are created from is always letting us know that of the oneness, always reminding us of the oneness, always available to come back to remember, to know that we are always as God created us, and that nothing ever can separate us from that, because we are what God is. Going back to my slides. So, oh, yeah, Karen, go ahead.
Could you go back to the very first one, Zulma? They were all so beautiful. Could you go back to that very first one?
The first slide or the first?
The slide that you just did on oneness, the very first quote that came up. I was waiting till you were done. I wanted to hear them all. They were all amazing.
Thank
The
you.
ones I think they were from the course.
I am. Oh no, that wasn't. Oh, wait a minute. That was not a slide. That was a. Let me come down out of this, because I'm still learning how to work my program. All right. Screen share has stopped. Okay. So the first slide.
The quotes that you just read, the ones that you just finished reading.
Oh, those quotes are from Word. Okay, let me go back to them.
Sorry.
All right. That's all right. Okay, not a problem.
I'm keeping you on your toes, girl.
Yeah.
Show me what you got. Show me what you got.
I'm informed that this works best with two people. Okay, this tells me screen share has stopped. I'm getting all kinds of messages here that I'm glad you all can't see.
You were always so good at this.
New share. Here we go. Back to the quotes. All right. Do you see the quotes on the screen? You see quotes on the screen.
These were oh my God, these were so good. I loved them all, but I wanted to go to the first one.
You want the first one. All right. That would be right after April 22nd. Our first one is this one. All of God's sons, go ahead. All of God's sons are of equal value, and their equality is their oneness.
And I love it. And I love that you put there that there is no order of difficulty in miracles, because all of God's sons are of equal value, and their equality is their oneness. And then you incorporate a lot of peace within this. There was a lot of, the only way we can be at peace is if we recognize our brother as the truth of who he is. And I've noticed that lately in my own life, like I am with my uncle like a lot. He's like my nurse right now. And just seeing I've never seen so much of God in anyone in my life in this lifetime that I've seen in him this past month. This guy has been I can't describe it to you. So much love and devotion that he has in helping me and helping take care of me, and just I can cry, and but it's not just when someone's doing all those good things, seeing that, but seeing it all the time, even seeing it when he's annoying me, even seeing it when he can get on my nerves at times. So this is a practice, and all the time noticing the truth, recognizing the truth. But it's so easy when someone is just so beautiful, loving, and kind, and he's just above and beyond, doing above and beyond what I'm just so grateful And I love this. I love all your quotes, but that particular one really stuck out for me. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you. And there will be more, and these will eventually end up on the slides. The ones that I did last week, I did 10 different quotes. We had an hour and a half on Thursday. We did 10 different quotes, and Glorian was here, and people were popping in and popping out. And it was really, and I said I was going to put them on a slide, and she said if I did, that she wants them. So I did put them on a slide, and these that I'm pulling out now will also end up as slides later on. I'm going to share my screen again. No, I'm not. I am going to do this first. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, this is it's a two-person job, and I'm making it one. So these moments when I have to slow down. So what happened here? That's not the way that was supposed to come up. That was supposed to come up this way. All right. So we're still talking about oneness, of course. And from the course, the universal communication that is an eternal property of mind is internal. It's internal. It's internal. It's not out there. Mind reaches to itself. In religious science, we call it deep calling unto deep. Ernest Holmes calls it deep calling unto deep. All of itself. It is not made up of different parts which reach each other. It does not go within itself. It has no limits, and there is nothing outside it. We can't say that enough. There is nothing outside of us. There is nothing outside of us. These things that we see are our own projections. It's all of our own world. It's like that recorder, not recorder, the movie camera, the projector. Here we go. The movie projector. It is only projecting what it as it is seeing. But it's not making anything. It's not creating anything. It's just projecting outward what from within. Within itself, it has no limits. We're talking about the universal communication. Within itself, it has no limits, and there is nothing outside it. It encompasses everything. Mind, capital M, mind, encompasses everything. The universal intelligence, it encompasses everything. The divine spirit, it encompasses everything. We're talking about God. It encompasses everything. It encompasses you entirely. You within it and it within you. You within it and it within you. There is nothing else, anywhere or ever. There is nothing else, anywhere or ever. As we say all the time, there's no such thing as God. And we tend to think that, oh, God can't possibly. No, yeah, God is in everything all the time. And from Miss Emma Curtis Hopkins, from her book, Scientific Christian Mental Practice, she says, there is one mind, one being, one divine experience, of which we all are part. One. That's all we're talking about today. Oneness. One. The air I breathe, the air I exhale, someone else is going to inhale it. The air I inhale, someone else is going to exhale it. The trees are getting it. Everything is getting it. We are just the one creation. Just the one. And from the science of mind, until we awake to the fact that we are one in nature with God, we shall not find the way of life. As long as I'm saying that I am separate from you, and my own best interests are the only ones that matter, or that yours don't matter, and I'm putting things that putting others behind me as if they don't matter. Not now, mind you, I'm not in charge of anyone. I'm not. I'm not responsible for anyone. I'm not responsible for this doggy. I am responsible for what I see. I am responsible for what I see. I am responsible. I am responsible in that I am responsible to anything outside of me that appears to be outside of me. I am responsible. I have been given the gift of responsibility. I have a responsibility. We all have the ability to respond in line with recognizing, engaging with God. Until we realize, until we awake to the fact that we are one in nature with God, we shall not find the way of life. Until we realize that our own word has the power of life, our own word, oh my God, that my word has power. We think, those, from the old way of thinking that Jesus's words had power in the Bible, that Jesus' words had power, even though it's written that he said in the Bible, it's written that he said that we too have the power. But some seem to not realize that. Until we realize that our own word has the power of life, we will not see clearly. The Bible points out that man has the same power in his own life and in his own world that it claims for God. Quote, the word was with God and the word was God, close quote, is an often repeated but little understood statement. The promise to man is equally positive. The word is nigh thee, even in thine own mouth, that thou shouldest know it and do it. We have this power. We have the power of the word. We have this. And Don Miguel Ruiz, in his first of the 4 agreements, he says to be impeccable with your word. That doesn't necessarily mean to go out here and tell other people the truth. It's to tell ourselves the truth, to look at the truth, to be in the truth, to realize the truth, to recognize the truth, and to remind ourselves over and over and over that what we are is spirit, that what we are is the creation, that what we are is God in form. If God is all there is, then it has to be so. If any word has power, Dr. Holmes continues, it follows that all words have power. If any word has power, it follows that all words have power. And that's why we don't spend our time talking about what we don't want. Somebody said to me, and don't forget I said, I'll remember. On the spot, I changed it. I'll remember. And then she said, yeah, remember to take, we say what we don't want. Don't forget. Well, the universe heard the forget part. The universe can't say no. So the don't is just automatically eliminated. We have to be careful. We have to take care to guard our thoughts, to guard our words, to be careful of what words come out of our mouth, of what words we are thinking. Because what we're thinking manifests, all thought manifests at some level, at form at some level. The Course says that all thought at some level comes form. So we have to, when we're choosing to be upset for whatever the reason, we're putting that into our bodies. We're bringing it as part of ourself, so to speak. We're bringing it as part of ourself. The physical ailments that show up later are as a result of our thinking. If any word has power, it follows that all words have power. It means that every word, every single word which we hear, speak, or think has some power. The Course teaches the oneness, 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 the oneness of the Creator and the creation is your wholeness. The oneness of the Creator and the creation is your wholeness. The oneness of life and me is my oneness, my recognition that I am life. The oneness of God and all that God created, God by whatever name you call it, is your wholeness. It's your wholeness. It's my wholeness. The oneness is my wholeness. Like a pie, like a complete pie. And once you cut part of it out, it's no longer a complete pie. It's no longer whole. It's no longer whole. The all, everything that God is in the macro, we are in the micro. The oneness of the Creator and the creation is your wholeness, your sanity, and your limitless power. Your sanity would be crazy. I was crazy as a bedbug, trying to figure out how to control people, how to control situations. And I found out that the only one I had to control was myself. And all other things that we're taught, seek first the kingdom, and all other things, seek first the kingdom, and all else will be given to you. This limitless power is God's gift to you. It's life's gift to you because it is what you are. If you dissociate your mind from it, you are perceiving the most powerful force in the universe as if it were weak. If I dissociate my mind from the Creator, if I dissociate my mind from God, if I dissociate my mind from life, I am perceiving the most powerful force in the universe as if it were weak. Because now in my misthinking, I have stepped outside. I think that I've stepped outside of life, that I've stepped outside of God, and that I have the power. I'm trying to usurp the power, that I have the power. Therefore, I have to be seeing God as weak. And the reason, because you do not believe you are part of it. I am, in my mind, separating myself. It's not possible, really. So it's all one big illusion. You can't separate one times one is one, no matter how you look at it. It's still one. And Ernest Holmes writes that the emphasis on true mental healing is insistently. What's the Course teach? The habit of engaging, the habit of engaging, the habit of engaging with God. The emphasis on true mental healing is insistently on God, the one mind, the one soul, the one being, ever present and ever available. One, one, one. Always one, one, one. And I'm laughing because we keep trying to turn it into two. We keep trying to turn it into more than one. We believe that it's that what applies to me doesn't apply to you. We believe that I'm innocent and you're guilty, or the other way around. We believe that I'm not good enough and you're better than me, or that you're not as good as I am. Go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, and the truth is, if I believe that you're not good enough, it's only because I believe I'm not good enough. So it has never has anything to do with you, but we love to project our guilt onto others so we don't have to deal with it exactly. But I wanted to go back to the words that you had right before this, Zulma. That was, I love this too, but I just wanted to go back to what you just read on words, which was
The
awesome.
slide before this. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right.
This is on the words. I love this. And, like anything else in the course, words are just like, what is it for? What is the purpose? Is it for love or fear? And I see McKaylee's in the house. She sent me these videos a while back on this lady. Her name is Melissa Combs. You can Google her. She just is very inspirational. She plays music and she always has inspirational things to share. But she said that words can build you like a castle or cut you down like a forest fire, you know? And words have power. Words have so much power. And even though, words are but symbols twice removed, they're not, they're only symbols, are not real. But when we believe these words are, they can make us who we are growing up, So I feel so grateful today that I can look beyond what someone might say to me in words because I know the truth today. I know the oneness today, but words are powerful. And if you're not strong enough, if I'm not strong enough within the knowing the truth of who I am, knowing the oneness of who I am, I tell you what, words can really cut you down like a forest fire, and they can build you up like a castle. But when we know the truth, none of it matters. But I just think that this whole thing on words is so important. And the manual has a whole thing is, on, what is the role of words in healing? Because, words do have power. And I've noticed lately that I haven't allowed these words of others to affect me like I used to. And that's a miracle. So thank you.
Thank you. And the reason why they don't affect you and me too, I'm pleased to say, is because we realize that we give it meaning. We give it all the meaning that it has. What comes out of your mouth is not my business. What you think is not my business. What you say is not my business. What you do is not my business. It has nothing to do with me. Even when it's coming at me, but it's not to me. It's not what I am. I am as God created me. I'm not a body, I am free. I am as God created me. Come on, Michaela.
Oh, well, thank you, Karen. Thank you, Zolma. Yes, and it also, you mentioned the four agreements. So all of this kind of ties it together. Science of Mind, A Course in Miracles, four agreements. It's never about me. So you never take it personally. And like the Course says, it's an outside picture of an inward condition. So whatever somebody is saying towards you, you can look at it. Also, it tells you a lot. It's not about you. It tells you a lot about this other person. And then it also tells you about yourself, how at that moment you're perceiving it. So it's kind of beautiful because you not only are looking at yourself, but you're also able to look at another person. And then your compassion and your empathy comes in because when you're right-minded, you're stepping back and you're looking at it, you're not attacking it, and then you're wanting to, in your mind, it's how can I bring this situation to peace? How can I, so you just ask for help and look at it. And so it's never about you. And it's just a beautiful picture. It's a mirror. Thank you.
Thank you. And it comes back to oneness. Because if I am seeing myself as separate from you, then you out there can do something to me. And then I'm a victim and you're a villain and on and on and on. And you can't have a victim without a villain. You can't have guilty. Well, somebody has to be innocent and somebody has to be guilty in the belief system that we're separate. But either we're all guilty And the question is, like, of what really? Or we're all innocent. If we are, as God created us, if I am as God created us, granted, I make mistakes, what we call mistakes, but even that is part of the process towards the growing. Because a lot of the mistakes that I made before, I choose not to make them now. I've learned how not to make them. I don't even think about them. It's not part of my quote reality today. Not part of my world. Because it was harmful. And days come, there's still things, you know, we all get caught up. But when we get caught up, it's because we are not focusing on the oneness. We are not recognizing that everything is God. Everything is God. In the Course, it says that God is in everything. It's not just everyone, everything. Come on, Regis.
Yes, Zulma, congratulations. You are doing a fabulous job this morning.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate um, your clarity and consistency in this message, because you keep directing us back to the oneness. And the thing that has stood out to me this morning about words, you doing a beautiful job at bringing us back to this, is not the words in other people. This teaching, every teaching that we come into any room, any gathering, is about us. And we have to stop projecting the teaching outside to other scenarios, other people. It's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And when what we're doing, we're taking the words that we call spiritual teaching and separating ourselves from other people. And there can't be oneness when I'm thinking I know something and you don't. When I think oh, my words and my thoughts are so spiritual, but yours are not. There's no oneness in that. There's no oneness in that. You in Karen, you illustrated it so perfectly with your uncle, and you have been ever since you've been going through this recovery. He ain't talking A Course in Miracles. He ain't talking Ernest Holmes. He ain't talking Joel Goldsmith. But you see that y'all are one. You're the same. So we, as what we think ourselves as mighty companions, spiritual people, whatever we want to call ourselves, that stuff ain't nothing. That if you go out with your family and in the world, as we call the world, with that crap, then you're not joining with people. That these teachings are for me. They not when I'm in this room, what I'm hearing is not for my wife. It's not for when I got a scenario going on with my wife. It's for Regis Reeves. And I can't join with my wife. I wouldn't be able to join with her uh, maintaining an idea that, oh, I know I'm so spiritual and she's so not. There can't be no joining. There can't be no good sex. There can't be no good nothing between us. As long as I'm taking these teachings and so it ain't so much like you brought us back to, Zuma, what they saying about us. What they saying about us is not our business. I know as children, words were spoken to us and they cause us lifelong scars or whatever. But we can't go into these teachings. And when we're hearing these teachings, we're beginning to build walls between ourselves and others because now we're thinking, oh, I'm spiritual, you're not. I know the Course, I know Science of Mind, I know whatever, and 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 you don't know this stuff. So you're in darkness. That's no different than what Christians do to what they call sinners. There's no difference. It's no difference. We just changing the words, doing the same crap. So we have to make sure that we don't allow all of these gatherings and all of our teaching and all of the words, because at the end of the day, the course says, forget these words. And you kind of was implying that about the words today. So don't take the words and let them cause you to not enter into oneness with the crazy girl at Walmart, with the crazy guy that's out there doing street work with his pants dropped down, mooning you halfway. You know, the thing about everybody love Regis is that Regis don't present the Course of Miracles when he go out. Not in words, not not even in thoughts. I'm not even thinking uh, quotes from the Bible or quotes from early home or quotes from A Course in Miracles. I'm just going out love, oneness, peace. I don't care what words they use. They can be cussing. It don't move me. They can be cussing. They can be doing whatever. It doesn't move me. It doesn't shut me down. It doesn't make me withdraw. You know, it's not, oh, this, in the church we say, oh, this is secular music. You know, this is worldly music. This is spiritual music. I can play Taylor Swift, you know, and still be spiritual. What's the separation? The separation is the separation that I'm creating, and we really have to watch it. We have to think about what we're thinking about. And the way that you are delivering this message this morning, I just have to compliment you. I don't do that very often, but is the consistency of this oneness that you're teaching this morning is really beautiful in your focus in bringing us back from the words. You're teaching the words, but then you're directing us back from the words into the oneness, because we can't allow the words, the text, the message. Don't let your message get in the way of your love. Don't, we get so hung up on our message that it's no joining. There's no joining with our brother. You going to New York. You going to New York to be the love that you are, the extension of God, not to Course in Miracles, not the Science of Mind. And when you walk in them in those rooms, and when you greet those people, and when you join with those people, it's just love.
Just love.
That's all. It's just love. It's just love, love, love. And it doesn't matter what words they're using. They don't have to reference the Course. They don't have to reference Joel Goldsmith. They don't have to reference the Bible. We're sisters, we're brothers, we're cousins, we're nieces, we're nephews, and we are just love. So, I mean, if I over talked, I apologize, but you really stirring something up for me today. Thank you.
Thank you. Oneness. Oneness. That's all we have. That's all we have. And the belief in anything else causes us pain. Another belief causes grief. Gotta write that down. A different
Yeah.
belief causes grief. I gotta write that down right now.
That's,
That
that's
just
tweetable. That's Instagram right there. If you don't tweet it, I'm gonna tweet it.
you gotta have to put my name to it. It's mine. It's mine. No, we can share. We can share. But that's the truth. The second I tell myself that I'm not what you are, or you're not what I am, and that we're different. I mean, granted, in form, sure. But only minds communicate. This is a communication thing. And only equals are at peace. Only equals are at peace. All right, let's try it again. That wasn't supposed to come up that way. Here we go. Let's go back. and go back. And these are the two that we read last before Karen asked me to go back. A reminder, the emphasis on true mental healing. Mental healing. This is a course in mind training. Mind training, mental healing. We're talking about, working our lives so that we're not unhealed healers, that we don't go out here delivering two messages, trying to tell somebody, oh yeah, we're one, and or just to tell them, oh, I love you, and then turn around and cuss them out. Or turn around and judge them because they're not dressed the way I am, or because they're not wearing their hair the way I do, or because, as Regis just said, because they do something that's not the same as I do. Where can I learn from that? What can I learn from that? Because all things are lessons that God would have me learn. It's not saying that all things are lessons that God would have me teach somebody. All things are lessons that God would have me learn. And in the learning, I can look out. My first thought might be to judge. My second thought is, oops, I'm gonna stop. Spirit, that's my word, spirit. And recognize it's all God. Talk about secular. I rewrote the words to my rendition of Uptown Funk. And the hook is, it's all God, the I am, one power, one presence. It's all God, the I am, one mind, divine intelligence. It's all God, the I am. What spirit is everything I am. It's all God, the I am. And I know this is true. I'll break it down. Spirit is moving through you. Spirit is moving through you. Spirit is moving through you. If you want, God's going to give it to you. What you want, God's going to give it to you. What you want, God's going to give it to you. If you live from the top, give it all you got. Just believe it and watch. So it's all God, the I am, one power, one presence. It's all God, the I am, one mind, divine intelligence. It's all God, the I am. What spirit is everything I am. It's all God. It's simply all God. And to call it anything else is to suggest that there is God. And the Course reminds us there is nothing outside you. Nothing outside you. That is what you must ultimately learn. For it is the realization that the kingdom of heaven is restored to you. And the kingdom is you. It's the recognition of it. It's always there, but can't see it because I'm not attempting to look with the spiritual eye. I'm not attempting to really see beyond the appearances. I'm not looking. I'm just not looking. I just when you said something about the pants down. There's a meme I saw which is hilarious, which is basically the back of the back is way down here. Okay. Anyway, but looking beyond appearances to the truth. Doesn't matter if the pants are up high or down low. Doesn't matter if there are no pants at all. It doesn't matter. It's all God. The pants are God. Whether they're down here, up there, it's all God. It's all God. There is nothing outside of me. And that's what I have to learn, for it is the realization that the kingdom of heaven, it is in that realization that the kingdom of heaven is restored to me, is restored to you. For God created only this. Only this. And Joel Goldsmith has something to say about that as far as creation goes. That's for another day. It just hit me and I have to remember to go look for it. God simply is. And basically, I'm thinking about it when it's saying that if there was a creation, that there had to have been at some point no creation, but things to be created. No, it always was. It always was. It always is. It's the isness of it. There is no before and there is no after. We talk about Alpha and Omega and all that. There is no before and there is no after. There's only now. One moment, this one. For God created only this, and he did not depart from it, nor leave it separate from himself. The kingdom of heaven is the dwelling place of the Son of God, who left not his Father, who did not leave his Father, and dwells not apart from him. The kingdom of heaven is the dwelling place, is my dwelling place. The kingdom of heaven is your dwelling place. We did not leave our Father. We are not apart from it. And heaven, a reminder, is not a place nor a condition. It is merely, here comes, an awareness of perfect oneness. Heaven is merely an awareness of perfect oneness and the knowledge that there is nothing else. There is nothing else. There's all that stuff out there. It's coming from in here. As I said, as Michaela reminds us, the outward picture of an inward condition, the outward expression of an inward condition. Call it that out picturing. It's coming from within. And if I'm recognizing that I am one with all of it, then everything I see is one. It's just part of the one. I'm the one that's seeing it. It's just one. You can't breathe for me. You can't eat for me. None of that. We've been given this life to discover for ourselves the beauty and the joy and the magnificence that we can experience if we want to. Because heaven is not a place nor a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness and the knowledge that there is nothing else, nothing outside this oneness, and nothing else within. In fact, that whole within and without thing, that's not even real. It's a temporary thought. Because so let's talk about this. I contracted COVID a couple of weeks ago. I didn't go to the store and buy it in a container or whatever, and then bring it home and keep it to myself and give it to myself. No. It's in the air. It's in the air. Somebody held somebody's hand and I hugged the person. So it's just a hug. Or just the breathing of the air. It's still all one. And I can't say which one of the people that contracted it, because there were a few of us that day. I can't say which one was the one. There was nothing different about the way the other one looked. There was nothing different about the way the other one spoke. There was nothing to give me the impression, oh, I can't go over there because look at that person. They have COVID. Sometimes we're just stuck on stupid. We're just stuck on stupid. We think that we know stuff. We don't know anything. We're figuring it out. We're walking around, but I'm walking around looking what hand to hold. What hand can I hold? How can I join with? How can I use the words from one person's book to combine it with the words from whatever books I choose? Talk about, I brought up this thing about course thumpers, and Regis just put that up. You have these Bible thumpers, and you have course thumpers too. Oh no, I know the truth. You don't. You don't. I can't believe, those Christians. I love those Christians. Love them. They're me. I'm them. Regardless of what name we call ourselves, it's still all one. Let's see if we can do one more slide. Let's see what we got. Mr. Joel Goldsmith, from his collected essays, Joel writes, in the realization of our oneness with infinite principle, love, God, we find and manifest our oneness in every idea necessary to the unfoldment of our completeness. And that is, we start taking the blinders off a little bit at a time. In the realization, as I real, and that word realize means to make real. To realize is to make real. In the realization of our oneness with infinite principle, love, God, we find and manifest our oneness with every idea necessary to the unfoldment of our completeness. Come on, Regis.
So I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole with you. Because the COVID story, I love it. So I contracted COVID, I guess it was last year at some point. And I got up that Sunday morning. I know it was a Sunday because we had to go to after hours care. So we had the home test that the government had given us. So for some reason, I never used it. I went in the closet, got one, and I took it, and I told my wife, "Oh, I tested positive." So, so you know, I it was interesting. But anyway, we went to after hours care, and they did their tests, and she went in, she got one. So I tested positive, she tested negative. So when we got home, I know she got a lot to say, but not saying it. So finally, she, well, I don't know how we gonna sleep tonight. And I said, I'm sleeping in the bed. I don't know where you going. so, but so I let her get all of her fears out and all of her separation because she was ready to go into separation. I got COVID, she don't, right? So I said, you do realize we slept in the bed together last night, right? And I got up this morning, I did a self-test, I positive. We went to the doctor. They said I was positive. They said you was negative. You do realize we slept in the bed together last night, right? So what's your fear? What's your desire to separate? What's your concern? We had breakfast together. We got up, we woke up in the bed together. We talked, we hugged, or whatever we do, you know. So what are you talking about sleeping in a separate room tonight? I said, you can if you want to, but I'm just saying. I ain't saying nothing, but I'm just saying. It's like, and so, do what you do. you know? So, of course, she ended up getting in bed, you know, and of course, she never attracted COVID. So now, do we go into a COVID ward with no mask on? No. If it's, if it's obvious and there's a mask, yeah, we're gonna put on a mask. We're gonna wash our hands. We're gonna use our sanitizer or whatever. But I told y'all that coming into 2024, I was bringing back this cliche: take it all with a grain of salt. you know, I'm bringing that back. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to go into separation in fear because of this world as we see it, as we perceive it. But anyway, you just reminded me of that when you talked about your COVID things.
Thank you, Regis. Thank you. Yeah, that was a heck of a thing because quite a few of us, like I said, a few of us that morning ended up with it. But nevertheless, the bottom line, one. One. If you're thinking other, if you're othering, you're out of yourself. You're out of yourself. There is no othering. There is no other. There is no and. It's just the one us. One. I heard unity, but I'm going to say oneity, which is the way I heard it in the Bob Marley movie. Oneity. Just the one. And with that, Lynn, we'll do more on Thursday, I believe. I'll still be in New York, but I'm taking everything with me, trusting that their internet is whatever it is. We'll make it happen. Love you, family.
Thank you, Zulma. Love you.
You too, Karen. Here's the
Thank
mic,
you,
Lynn.
Zulma. Thank you, everybody. And grateful for having you here. Getting ready to turn the mic over to Teresa.